Hey everybody, Rich from Greenwood Travel Group. Hope everybody's having a good day on this finally NFL opening night. My Kansas City Chiefs open the defense of last year's Super Bowl versus my dad's favorite team, the Detroit Lions. So my nerves are starting to get there a little bit. A lot of you know I take the NFL and my college sports pretty serious, way more serious than I should. So the blood pressure cuff, I'm gonna leave it in the bedroom tonight. Hopefully, I won't need it to monitor whether or not I'm going to uh, have a heart attack right in my chair. So we will see what happens with this NFL season. It should be a great one for those of you that follow it. Before we get started on what I want to talk about today, I've got a list of things all over the board that I want to talk about, things that have come up in the cruise world and in the news lately. So before I get any further, please subscribe to my page and hit that notification bell so you can be alerted when I do drop videos. And I am getting a little bit better. I'm doing some things on the side during my downtime, trying to learn how to edit, put things in, take things out, add this, add that. So hopefully getting a little bit better going forward. So a few things. First of all, I want to start with some bad news. Over the Labor Day weekend, there was a Carnival Conquest passenger. I believe he was 26-year-old Kevin McGrath, who was reported missing to the cruise line around 7 a.m. In the morning. Last seen, they were in port in Miami. He was last seen by his brother at 2 a.m. They had Miami-Dade police and Coast Guard looking for him. They determined, after coming on board and looking at all the security cameras and footages, that he did not fall overboard, but they cannot locate him. So there is an official missing persons report out. Hopefully everything ends up well. I have my own thoughts on probably what happened. But I'm going to keep those to myself for obvious reasons. So hopefully he is found and he's found safe. So moving on to some more, some better things, and some a little bit more happy issues, I guess. It was stated a couple days ago. I was going through Carnival website, Facebook page, and John Heald had to address. John Heald is a Carnival brand ambassador. For those of you that don't know, he's very popular in the cruise line industry. My understanding, if you meet him, he's super fun. He's British. He's their brand ambassador. So basically, anything on the Carnival Facebook page or on his Facebook page, you can consider it right from Carnival itself. So somebody had said something to him about they had heard through their sister's boyfriend's brother's roommate's cousin that Carnival wasn't going to be doing towel animals anymore. And I immediately thought of my wife Candy, because one of the only reasons she goes cruising is so that she can get towel animals. So sometimes towel animals, they have this group. It's let's just say they are kind of infatuated with these towel animals that the stewards make on a daily basis. Candy will collect hers and put them on the back of the couch and have 6, 7, 8, however long our cruise is, days of towel animals. So if there's a towel shortage on the ship that we're on, it's probably Candy's fault. So anyway, John Heald had to address that and basically said, you guys, this is crazy. We've been doing towel animals for 50 plus years, and we're not going to stop doing it. So he put that to bed, and thank God. Otherwise, we would have had a humongous uproar, bigger than the uproar that Royal Caribbean created when there was rumors that they were going to charge for Sorrento's pizza on their ships, which everybody had pretty much a meltdown about. But speaking of that, during that, Royal Caribbean, during the confusion on whether or not they were going to charge for Sorrento's after a survey that they put out, they raise their prices at all their other restaurants. So I'm going to put another video up probably a little bit later this week or next week about what the cruise lines are doing, kind of nickel and diming right now. I don't think it's a good trend from what I'm seeing from some of the cruise lines, but I'll get more in detail of that next week. And then a couple other things I wanted to talk about was code of conduct and things that could get you booted off of a cruise ship, which you don't want. Everybody gets a guidelines, what to do, what not to do, what's covered, what's not covered, what the ship can do, what they can't do before you sail. It's in your documents. It's something that travel agents provide to their customers just to, whether or not people read it. I've read through it just to read through it. It's boring and it's tedious. It's a lot of lawyer talk, but at the same time, there are some things that you can get in trouble for that could wind you up off the ship or confined to quarters. A couple of those things, the first one most obviously is drugs. So no matter if you have a medical marijuana card or your state marijuana is legal, you still cannot bring it on a cruise ship. One of two things can happen. You'll either ask for it to, have it disposed of right there, depending on what it is, or they'll just not allow you to board and you won't go on your cruise. So keep that in mind. So many people right now use CBD, vape, gummies, whatever it is. Just please, if you're cruising, don't do that. Wait until you get home. Wait until you go back to where it's legal and you can do that on your own. The cruise lines don't go by what's legal in your state or your town. They go by what's legal in the ports that they're visiting, from my understanding. So, a lot of ports that ships visit have way different laws than we do here in the United States. So just keep that in mind. No drugs. Save the drugs. Save the gummies. Whether you've got issues that are legit or whether you just want to have a very good time on the cruise, just don't do that. A couple other things. Carnival has had some issues with this lately with fighting. Some big fights have broken out here and there on some certain Carnival cruise lines. They've added a couple of things to, they've added drug sniffing dogs to the cruise or the embarkation point. And, it's just not a good thing to get so drunk or have such an issue that you start a fight. Everything's at the discretion of the captain after he or she gets that information, and they can decide whether to confine you to quarters for a certain duration or let you off at the next stop. And if you get let off at the next stop, you're not getting any refund on any part of that cruise, and you're going to have to find your own way home. They are not going to take care of any of that. So it's not worth it. Just be mindful. You could also end up in the ship's brig, more than likely confined to quarters until they figure out what to do with you. So that goes for, pushing a crew member, destruction of property, fighting, just being dangerous to the safety of everyone else on the ship. It's not a good thing to get into. I've never seen it yet. I don't know if I've even heard of it on any of the cruises that we've been on. You hear people get loud and arguing a lot, but I've never seen punches thrown or anybody get pushed or anything like that. So I guess that's a good thing. But I haven't sailed Carnival yet either. That's coming up in January, so maybe my experience will change. Who knows? Another thing is that also stands for crew members also. Crew members are under the same, if not a more stringent set of guidelines that they have to follow. And it could be everything. It could be anything ranging from, their actions on board, their actions towards a person cruising, One of the big things that is frowned upon is fraternization between passengers and crew member. So if they do get caught fraternizing, for instance, taking passengers into crew quarters or something like that, they can be and probably will be let off the ship and terminated once that all settles down and they decide what to do. There's health policies that are in place that can change at the drop of a hat. Right now we don't have any COVID restrictions. There are things set in place for if anything does pop back up while you're underway, or in between ports, they can change and put COVID guidelines in place at a moment's notice. There's been rumblings, already this summer that hearing about COVID again. Definitely not in the extreme way that we had to deal with it a couple years ago, but those policies are in place, and up until they can remove you from the ship if they determine that you are bad enough, contagious enough, no matter what it is, so that you don't spread to other people on the ship. They'll get you off the boat as soon as they can. I guess the only other thing that I wanted to talk about was kind of our upcoming schedule. We've got a trip planned next month that not really telling anybody where we're going yet. It's kind of a surprise. We're going to use it to do a lot of video and a lot of learning about YouTube and trying to get the best videos and how to do them, and hopefully make better content for everyone. And I can quit doing all these face-to-face videos. Although I like these, I'd rather have some video and talk through it and have pictures and yada yada, and do a little bit of face-to-face with all of our subscribers. And then in January, we have a back-to-back cruise on 2 different cruise lines out of Galveston, which is a hopping port right now. Galveston's very, very busy. Lots of passengers going in and out of Galveston right now. So at the end of January, we're going on Norwegian Prima for a 7-day cruise. And then we come back and we have a day in Galveston, probably to do laundry and maybe catch some sights. And then we turn around on the next day and we board the brand new Carnival Jubilee for a 7-day cruise. So we're very, very excited about what's coming for Greenway Travel Group, and to experience those ships and get a better idea of what goes on and what is available for all of our customers and clients. So I want to appreciate everybody for stopping by and watching. Like I said, please go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.